For anyone who isn't familiar with the concept, a recursive translation is when something is taken from one language, translated to at least one more, and then converted back to the source language. The results can be quite interesting. Anyway, let's go. The future of law enforcement. This time, a futuristic RoboCop is protecting Delta City from a microscopic madman. A killer who calls himself the Dogtown Ripper murders thousands of people and steals their brains. Teen Trouble will be approved by Stanley Parks. The secretary has been murdered, but her soul lives on within the main system. Prime Suspect. A tabloid TV host called RoboCop a tool of the devil. RoboCop learns that his arrogant host has been killed and is on the run. Trouble in Delta City. Maddie Ken and many other people in Delta City have been addicted to special diet pills with deadly side effects. Missing police officer. RoboCop and the OCP officers fall into the trap of a traveling street gang where energy costs keep blacks from leaving town. Things money can't buy. The boy from the last episode was taken to the hospital. A lung donor was prepared for him, but an interloper and his girlfriend stole his lungs. Ghost of War. A group of warriors successfully took control of the neurobrain in protest of exposure to the deadly poison. District 5. When Murphy's son is cornered by a drug-dealing street gang, Old Detroit is filled with drug fun that takes away all the guilt. Judgment 22. Murphy is torn between following the law and helping his family after his wife is arrested for leading a protest against the sheriff's welfare system. Eva's Face. Pudface plans to put an end to RoboCop with a new OCP product that transforms users into any form they want. When justice fails. A new space shuttle is taken off with an international crew on board, but the fuel on board is an experimental project. RoboCop must navigate a world filled with corporate scandals and cover-ups to prevent a catastrophe. Human Factor. A gunman is on the loose in Detroit, and the OCP is bringing in a new team to deal with the situation. But Russell Murphy, former police officer and Alex Murphy's father, cannot stay silent. Have not. RoboCop and Murphy, who is skeptical about working with machines, team up to stop Madman Felix Weber before Michigan goes into nuclear winter. Inside the Crime. When OCP launches a TV show chronicling the exploits of criminals, Padface Morgan gets high ratings. RoboCop vs. Commander Cash. The kids stole it because their favorite comic book hero, OCP's corporate mascot, Commander Cash, told them to. As RoboCop searches for answers as to why these children are acting so violently, RoboCop finds himself fighting Cash's boss. Fantasy. While RoboCop uncovers an arms dealer's plot to assassinate the OCP director, Madigan falls in love with a wizard who may be involved in the plot. Tin Man. A mysterious vigilante group equipped with the latest weapons waged their own war against Reggie Braga and Stitch Molotov. RoboCop is investigating, but catching this outlaw won't be easy. This idiot thug has a connection to Alex Murphy's past. Sisters involved in crime. A group of violent feminists kidnap the director of the phosphate office and force her to live as a maid while in prison. Heartbreaker. After learning that RoboCop was once police officer Alex Murphy, the madman takes his wife hostage and tries to kill him. Mother's Day. RoboCop suspects that Gadget's mother is involved in a conspiracy involving Russian crime lord Vlad Molotov and his girlfriend Nadia. Nano. A former official forces a scientist to create a tiny robot to carry out crimes. Meanwhile, Madigan is paralyzed in a bus accident. Corporate Raider. RoboCop and Madigan battle a corrupt union leader and his secretary while tracking down a former rapscallion. Midnight -1. RoboCop and Madigan race against time to save an innocent man from being executed as a convicted murderer. Enemy of the People. RoboCop tries to prevent an assassination attempt by Dr. Moraldo, Chip Chaikin, and Badface Morgan. Dark Justice. 10 years after becoming RoboCop, Alex Murphy discovers that his grown son James is an executive at Omni Consumer Products and doesn't know he's alive. RoboCop also features his former partner John T. Cable, who was in charge of security for Delta City. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges in Delta City. A crime wave caused by the Bone Machine Corporation. RoboCop and Cable's investigation reveals their ties to the Trust, a group of OCP executives who plan to take over the company. To make matters worse, James is almost confronted by Cable's ex-wife, Sarah. The Trust reprograms RoboCop to take down Cable before the investigation reveals his true identity. Cable's only option is to tap into RoboCop's human side. However, this causes conflict within RoboCop, which could lead to his downfall. Collapse. Cyber-enhanced mercenaries led by Anarchy attempt to steal technology from the OCP. RoboCop stopped them, but the Trust's killing of John Cable caused RoboCop to lose his humanity and become very violent. Unbeknownst to RoboCop, the Trust revived Cable and became the new crime squad, RoboCable. Meanwhile, James investigates his father's death and discovers secret documents. RoboCop battles Delta City Security and RoboCable. RoboCop accepted him for who he was, but the Trust suppressed Cable's humanity. As the battle begins, RoboCop is forced to retreat and flee to Old Detroit. His only hope now is to work with Anarchy. Meanwhile, RoboCable and RoboHunter enter Old Detroit to find and destroy RoboCop. Awakening! After the battle, RoboCop and RoboCable are now walking through Old Detroit. RoboCop is rescued and repaired in no time by Anarchy, Rex, and Abby. Meanwhile, RoboCable is captured by Dr. David Caddick, who plans to unleash a deadly weapon. Back at OCP, Sarah asks James to lead a new team of robo-hunters to find RoboCop. Crash and burn. Bypassing the police and OCP security systems, RoboCop stopped Caddick before he could fire his doomsday weapon. Once you reach Caddick, you have to overcome John T. Cable's improvements and fight the hunger. The final battle has begun. It's all the same thing. Thank you for the registration question?